Alright. Happy Saturday. Hello YouTube, hello Twitch. I'm back and we have a new source of charity. Let me show you. It's a Finnish friend, your Finnish friends registered organization at Finland, and the link is provided in a description. But you can give a direct help to Finnish volunteers at Ukraine. They are using them to buy a protective gear, basically, and utilities. So keep in mind that you can actually help. Now, for today's business, we are going to start with the Star Trek Judgment Rites. And then we are going to drive a bit of train at Trans-Siberian Railway Simulator, Mafia Train. And I'm going to end the day by showing you a very old game, 2003 shooter called Viet Cong. And it's one of the best Vietnam games ever. Very old-fashioned. So we are playing a HD remaster modification. So it doesn't look like a third, but yeah, it's very old. So that's this day's idea. So let's dive into the Star Trek for now. Let me place the chat window so I can actually see something at some point. All right, I'm a bit. This isn't flu. I think I'm just allergic.
Restart the game. Load a previously saved.
I think we saved it here. I need to check the I need to check the keys again. So, let's see. Okay, so Sentinel is somehow we got like only 2 points from Federation.
The Delphi system is not far from Romulan space.
Let's not make any accusations without proof, Mr. Spock.
I make no accusations, Captain. I am simply pointing out relevant information based on the most logical hypothesis available.
Yep.
I would not recommend drawing a definite conclusion from it.
Evil Romulans. That's always like a possibility here. C is a computer.
Delphi system. A ternary star system first charted 30 years ago by the USS Essex. With no habitable planets in the system, the Gamma Delphi sector is known for a high abundance of ion storms. Romulans. Warrior race believed to have descended from common heritage with that of the Vulcans, but one that did not reject passion and aggression as the Vulcans did. Under medical examination, the two races appear very similar. However, Romulans exhibit a psychological profile contrary to that of Vulcans. Romulans currently use ships of Klingon design, suggesting to some, Klingons are maintaining the Romulans as a client state to antagonize the Federation in a move that circumvents the Organian Peace Treaty. Omega Corvus, a Federation system located near the galactic barrier. The Omega Corvus system contains a small colony of several hundred scientists who studied the galactic barrier and some of its more mysterious phenomena.
Oh, second pilot episode of the original Star Trek.
Galactic barrier, an energy field possibly artificial in origin that delineates the boundaries of the Milky Way galaxy. Crossing the galactic barrier is extremely hazardous, even for the most advanced starships, and has, on 2 instances, caused mutation of humans possessing elevated Esper levels. USS Zimbabwe. Constitution-class starship commissioned stardate 5621.3, currently under the command of Captain Ulysses Monteya. The Zimbabwe's current non-classified missions include ferrying diplomats between Babel and Vulcan and searching for missing ships in the Delphi sector.
Okay.
Raising shields. Arming weapons.
Map is N as a navigation. Okay, what is the number? This is the old-fashioned copy protection here, so I need to check it out. Number 2 is this blue dot here.
Captain, at our current speed of warp 7, I expect to enter the Delphi system in 8 minutes.
Captain, I just started getting the oddest noise on all channels. It sounds like some sort of insect drone.
Let's hear it, Lieutenant.
An object is approaching the Enterprise.
On screen.
Right.
Mr. Spock, is that what I think it is?
Sensors indicate that it is an authentic Earth warplane, circa 1917, belonging to the nation of Germany. Its appearance is identical to a Fokker DR-1. Sensors also indicate an immense power source and one life form.
We are being hailed.
This is Baron Trelane von Gothos of the German Air Circus. I have identified you as an enemy aircraft. You have 10 seconds to surrender before I blow you out of the sky.
Trelane, but I thought we'd seen the last of you. Stop playing games, Trelane. Leave my ship alone. We surrender.
Okay.
Trelane, triplanes didn't have radios during the First World War.
Captain Kirk, that is not the way for mortal enemies to greet each other on the field of battle. Of course you hadn't seen the last of me. I am Trelane, the humble Baron of Gothos.
Humility is not something that I would associate with you, Trelane. I suppose we're going to get another tantrum from a runaway child with too much power for his own good.
Okay,
Mortal enemies.
roast.
When are you going to grow up, Trelane?
Not for several millennia, I'm afraid.
Several millennia.
Of course, the Baron von Gothos does not have to aspire to such lofty heights to defeat his latest victim.
You were responsible for what happened to the Zimbabwe? We'll see who the victim will be, Trelane. No matter how powerful you are, your arrogance and your immaturity will always be your downfall. Why don't you aspire to lofty heights and leave us alone? You were responsible for what happened to the Zimbabwe?
Was that one of the valiant pilots who is now confined in my dungeon? Perhaps you wish to join him.
Sensors indicate he is closing on us. I would extrapolate that he intends to fire on us.
Raise shields, evasive maneuvers.
Raising shields.
Disarming weapons. Arming weapons.
Aye, sir. Pencils repaired, Captain. Aye, sir.
Oh no.
Aye, sir. Engines repaired, Captain. Aye, sir. Damage control standing by, sir. Damage control standing by, sir.
Can we lock the weapons? If I started this game.
Target analysis off.
Okay, now we can see his. First World War fighters didn't have a shield.
Target analysis off.
Okay.
Don't celebrate too soon, Mr. Chekhov. Trelane is like a bad penny. He keeps turning up where he's not wanted.
The triplane has reformed.
It is hailing us again, sir.
Kirk, you cheated! You cheated!
I beat you fair and square, Trelane. Now leave my ship alone.
Okay.
Don't be such a poor loser, Trelane. Your quarrel is with me, Trelane, not my ship. If you're going to punish anyone, I beat you fair and square, Trelane. Now leave my ship alone.
No, Kirk, you cheated! And you're going to have to be punished. Your insolent ship will have to be punished as well. But only you will bear the full brunt of my revenge.
Leave my ship out of this, Trelane.
Are you trying to give orders to the Baron of Gothos, Kirk? You shall go to my dungeon for that. You and a few others of my choosing.
Okay. Well, he's a...
We have been unconscious for a considerable length of time, Captain. This is Lieutenant Commander Ellis, First Officer and Security Chief of the USS Zimbabwe.
Hello, Mr. Ellis. Where is your captain?
He was in sickbay at the time that triplane attacked us. I don't know what's going on.
What is going on, Commander, is a gentleman named Trelane, an immature child of a race with vast powers. Somehow he acquired an unhealthy fascination with human military history. Last time we encountered him, he had an interest in the Napoleonic era.
It would appear, Captain, that his awareness of human history has advanced to the level of your First World War.
If it advances any further.
Not only do we need to escape this place, but we need to find a way to discourage Trelane's interest in war once and for all.
How did you escape from him last time, Captain?
His parents appeared and punished him. I doubt that we can rely on such an intervention a second time.
Save new game. Save new cancel. Delete previous game. Save new game. Cancel. Delete previous game. Save new cancel. Delete previous. Save new game. Can't delete previous game. Save new game.
Okay. Now we are in a jail.
The only door in this room, it is locked. Lieutenant Commander Ellis is frowning. This sort of stuff always seems to happen to the Enterprise. Dr. Leonard McCoy, who wonders what is really going on. Mr. Spock finds this situation fascinating.
Okay, so we have a scanners with us.
These sticks were taken from a pine tree. Given their shape, I would speculate that they are used for kindling. Ordinary straw, Captain. The tricorder detects no unusual properties. It would appear to be an ordinary crate, Captain.
Of course it's a crate. It looks like a crate, feels like a crate. What else could it be?
Doctor, we are dealing with an entity who is capable of sustaining an artificial atmosphere on a planet and then flying that planet around the universe like a starship.
Spock's right, Bones. When we're dealing with Trelane, we need all the information that we can get. Something that looks trivial might be the key to defeating him and saving the Enterprise.
And the Zimbabwe.
Like boxes.
It would appear to be an ordinary crate, Captain. It would appear to be an ordinary crate, Captain. The tricorder detects nothing unusual. The tricorder detects nothing unusual.
Lieutenant Commander Ellis is showing heightened levels of stress.
Yeah, no wonder. Okay, there's something here.
The crate is open.
Look like
it is
this.
full of bottles of Himrich schnapps. The date on the bottle says 1913. You have taken several bottles of schnapps. You already have plenty of...
Not as good as Steel Magnolia. Perhaps later. You carry it, Jim.
Vulcans do not drink.
He needs to loosen his Vulcan ears a little.
I have observed numerous occasions, Doctor, where you have regretted your indulgence in alcoholic beverages.
Nah.
While I'm on duty? Are you serious?
No thanks. We'll need all of our wits if we are to defeat Trelane.
Alcohol, so prisoners can drink themselves to death.
You pick up a stick.
Well, I thought I could start a fire and try to get someone's attention, but I guess the straw is too damp.
The finest schnapps that money can buy, or so you'd like to imagine. You cover the straw with schnapps.
Okay.
What's going on here? We should leave this building immediately. The proximity of this fire to a large concentration of alcohol puts us at considerable risk.
Do you think the Baron cares if you burn to death?
Who is this Baron? Don't be a fool, man. If you keep us in here, you'll die too. It depends on whether he likes his prisoners rare, medium, or well done. Don't be a fool, man. If you keep us in here, you'll die too.
You have a point, Kirk. Go. I will be following.
Our soldier friend seems to have gotten separated from us. I heard some windows breaking on the other side of the building. I assume that was him.
The building is structurally sound, Captain. I doubt that it would collapse, but as a precaution, I would not enter it again.
Well, where are we, Mr. Spock?
Isn't it obvious? In trouble.
Do you have a problem, Mr. Ellis?
Yes, sir. I have a problem. His name was...
The Baron does not appreciate vagrants.
Why that?
Save new game. Replay, delete, cancel. Save new game.
Okay. See you alive.
A human, approximately 60 years of age, in poor physical condition. His hip is broken, Jim. He needs our help.
All right, Commander, you were about to tell us why you're being so hostile. Let's hear your story.
Does the name Lieutenant Ralph Garvin sound familiar to you? He was my roommate at the academy and was killed by some blood-sucking cloud while on a landing party under your command.
Space is not the safest of environments. I've always done my best to protect my crew, and I've always honored anyone who has lost their life under my command.
The Enterprise is routinely assigned to unknown and extremely dangerous
Blood-sucking.
I have always made it a policy to lead landing parties and share the risk with my men. I suppose you've never lost someone under your command, Commander. You've never felt the loss of a subordinate while you've been on a landing. When you become a captain of a starship, you'll have every right to judgment. We're in the middle of a life-and-death situation. I expect you to act like a Starfleet officer. I have always made it a policy to lead landing parties and share the risk with my men.
Yeah, that's actually quite...
Captain, if I see you do anything that puts us or our escape at risk, you'll regret it.
I'm not interested in vendettas. I'm interested in survival. If you have a problem with me, you can wait until everyone's safe. Is that clear, Commander?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
A human, in his early 20s, in excellent physical condition. You'd better take care of the soldier first.
I suppose this could work. Yeah.
Having fun, Jim?
Yes.
A quaint little pub, reminiscent of 19th century German pubs. The entrance to the pub. This seems pointless.
Not when it's about James T. Kirk. Okay, no, you can deal with him.
That should fix the hip problem. You should rest. Thank goodness Trelane didn't take the tranquilizers from my med kit. He'd probably be too tired to talk much.
Thank you for helping me. If only I had something to repay you.
You could tell us where we are.
You are the American pilot, Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk, the leader of the famous Enterprise Squadron.
Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy? Enterprise Squadron?
I suppose I should tell you nothing, but as it looks as though the war will soon be over, I can tell you that this is the village of Gothos.
What war is this?
The Great War. The one that has lasted for 4 damned years and has killed millions. I never thought that it was possible for so many young people to die for such a worthless cause.
I believe he refers to the first of your world wars.
Could you answer an important question for me, sir? What year is this? Where's Trelane? What else has happened? What year is this? Where's Trelane? What else has happened?
Interesting.
It is rumored that our forces are mutinying, and that our ambassadors have met with Mr. Wilson to discuss an armistice, but that Mr. Wilson will not negotiate with anyone except an elected government. Baron Trelane has retired to his castle and sees no one. His men are nothing more than bullies.
Okay, so he's in a castle. There's a pretty girl, so of course James T. Kirk is going that direction.
You know that Baron's orders are that you are to be served in the armory. You are not to enter this establishment.
Everyone knows, Fraulein, that the Baron's orders were never meant to be taken seriously. Even by him.
Looks like trouble.
Excuse me, but if the lady wants you out, then you should get out. Would you like to step outside? Hello, soldier. Wouldn't you look good with beer on your face? Would you like to step outside?
Yeah, that's what James T. Kirk would do. That was fast. Okay.
They don't make soldiers like they used to. Well, Miss Gernsback, you seem to run a very efficient place.
Thank you, Colonel. Unfortunately, the war does not lend itself to efficiency. What do you wish to talk about?
Why are you calling me a colonel? What's going on with the war? You said that the war led to a lack of efficiency. What are you talking about? What do you know about Trelane? Why do these soldiers bother you? Why are you calling me a colonel?
5 different options here. Ugh.
I know who you are. Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk, leader of the famed United States Enterprise Squadron that has shot down so many of our pilots, along with Major Spock and Captain Leo McCoy.
Captain McCoy? Leo?
Excuse me, Gretel, could you answer a question or two for me?
I will try, Colonel.
What's going on with the war? You said that the war led to a lack of... What's going on?
It has not been going well of late, so we are told that Kaiser Wilhelm will never surrender. I doubt the war will last more than 2 months.
What is the date?
You have been held prisoner for a long time. It is October 16th, 1918. I'm glad it's coming to an end. I've lost so many friends. I've never felt so alone.
You said that the war led to a lack of efficiency. What are you talking about? What do you know about Trelane? Why do these... You said that the war led to a lack of efficiency. What are you talking about?
The soldiers are little more than animals. They do as they please because a Baron protects them. I must deliver kegs of beer for them every night. It keeps them from having to leave the armory. I'm glad it's coming to an end. I've lost so many friends. I've never felt so alone.
What do you know about Trelane?
I know the band despises you and has vowed to kill you if you should ever meet again. Take my advice. Flee Gothos and never return.
And how does one flee Gothos?
I do not know. Else I would have left long ago. The village of Gothos seems to ensnare anyone who comes here. You see, I really work for the French government. I'm a spy.
Right.
I'm glad it's coming to an end. I've lost so many friends. I've never felt so alone.
Spy?
I have been here for 2 years. The Western Front is very close, and I send information to France. I'm glad it's coming to an end. I've lost so many friends. I've never felt so alone.
Why do these soldiers bother you? Alone, Fräulein?
Okay.
Why do these soldiers bother you?
The soldiers are little more than animals. They do as they please because a band protects them. I must deliver kegs of beer for them every night. It keeps them from having to leave the armory.
Hey mate, another great live stream. Can you say hello to my family with the Indian accent so they can understand? Thank you. I'm a Finnish guy, so I don't have an Indian accent.
I'm glad it's coming to an end.
Alone, Fräulein?
Perhaps someday, when you have defeated your
I can't
enemy,
do accents.
and this war is finally
Sorry.
over, you would come and visit me. I would enjoy spending better times with you.
Perhaps, Fräulein.
Okay, so in this discussion we just need to like select number 1. Okay, who are you?
I saw how you handled that foolish brute outside. Quite impressive. I am Schiller, superintendent of the local schools. How may I help you?
What do you think of the war?
What do you think of the war?
What can you tell me about Trelane?
Okay.
What do you think of the Where can I go to earn
We
some
need
money?
to discuss with this and go through all the choices here.
What's special about the school? What do you think of the war?
Horrible business. When it started, I thought it would be good for Germany, but it soon became a mess. I hope
You're doing a Finnish accent. Yeah, I'm
if we
doing a
can
Finnish
settle this thing
accent.
without harsh negotiations, we can get back to being a civilized nation once again. Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
What can you tell me about Trelane?
A flamboyant man, and the greatest pilot in Germany. If only his soldiers weren't such rabble.
The Trelane is known from the Square of Gothos, the original Star Trek series. Can't remember which season it was.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
Where can I go to earn some money?
One might find a little money doing odd jobs around the village. Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
What's special about the school?
Well, Captain Hauptmann is addressing our class, trying to make the children into proper Germans. And we have a brand new chalkboard.
Rudolf Uhland, owner of the shop outside. What seems to be the problem?
What do you think about the war, Herr Uhland?
Herr Schiller would have us believe that Germany is doomed. But I have more faith in our great soldiers than that. Victory shall be ours. Herr Kirk, what is it this time?
What can you tell me about Trelane?
The perfect German. If anyone can turn this war around, it's him.
You're such a sycophant, Rudolph.
Herr Kirk, what is it this time?
I'm just saying hello, Herr Uhland.
I suppose I should be courteous, Herr Kirk, but there's little profit to be made in having good manners.
Okay, let's
Save new game. Cancel. Delete. Replace previous.
I'm saving constantly because in these old-fashioned point-and-click games, there might be like a situation where you have been like playing into yourself in the corner and can't proceed, or there might be a sudden death. Although this series didn't have a sudden death, but Sierra and LucasArts games used to have like those.
A large wooden table. Gretel Gernsbeck, the hostess of this establishment. Kegs of beer. They are marked for delivery to the armory. Kegs of beer. They are marked for delivery.
The tricorder indicates that these are ordinary beer kegs.
My medical tricorder identifies the substance contained in the keg to be a fermented cereal produced by a malting process.
In other words, beer.
How come Spock gets to ramble on forever with his explanations without interruptions, and I don't? Not the epitome of perfect human health. Not the epitome of perfect human health.
Can we take the... Okay, we have a booze here. Can we take the beer? Or can we spice it somehow? Like a poison or something?
McCoy has drugged the beer.
Okay, that was easy. Oh. What's this?
This door leads to a back room.
And we always need to go to the back room.
I didn't know your good luck was only temporary. I'd be quite annoyed.
Mr. Full House is complaining. If his hands were any more indecent, he would be arrested.
With the Baron's soldiers, he might be arrested even if his hands were decent. I can't complete a strike to save my life.
Or your fortune.
A German card shark. A German card shark.
Okay, 3 card
shark. A German card shark.
Okay.
There is a date circled on this calendar. October 16, 1918. This landscape does not look like the work of a professional. Cups, dishes, and other supplies are stored on these shelves.
Hello, I am Richard Sondergaard. I publish the local newspaper. It's nice to see someone as famous as you, Lieutenant Colonel.
Doesn't it worry you, Herr Sondergaard, that you know an enemy ace is standing next to you?
The Baron has given orders for everyone in Gothos to treat you well, Herr Kirk. A fellow pilot honoring fellow pilots, I suppose, although I would not trust the military to follow those orders to the letter.
Welcome. I am Kurt Nielsen, owner of the Gothos Brewery. If you care to join, feel free, if you can pay the stake.
I'm Werner Gillard, the shoemaker. If you are not prepared to play, please leave us.
Excuse our friend. He doesn't like to perform in front of an audience.
Okay.
Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about the war? What can you tell me about Trelane? Can you help me get into this poker game? What can you tell me about the war?
Okay, so I suppose we are going to
My
talk
son
about
is in
all
the army.
subjects
I
here.
fear for him constantly. I've tried to convince the commander at the armory to authorize his transfer. I would do nearly anything for that transfer. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about Trelane?
Why, Herr Kirk, you know the Baron quite well, do you not? I doubt I could tell you anything you do not know. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me? Can you help me get into this poker game?
I would lend you a stake to enter this game, but it appears that I will have to win a few hands to give you that money.
Can we cheat?
The tricorder detects nothing unusual.
Can you scan the cards? No.
The tricorder detects nothing unusual.
Looking through a ragged knothole, it is obvious that this cupboard is empty. These crates contain potatoes. No effect.
Okay, we can't take potatoes.
A quaint village shop, typical of early 20th century Earth.
Charming place. Less technology, more humanity. I like it.
Somewhere in the middle of this European charm, there's Trelane and the missing ships. Let's find it.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for that room? I see you're selling food packages. Is that a coil of rope over on the wall? What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful clock. Can you tell me how to make money around here? What do you want for that room? Can you tell me how...
Sure, have some money. Oh, I don't have any. I wonder why.
The clock and everything. Where's the clock? Oh, here. In the middle.
The power contained within one of the clocks is off the scale, Captain. It matches with the sensor readings I took of Trelane's triplane on the Enterprise.
Theories, Mr. Spock.
Captain, the last time we encountered Trelane, he used various items, in particular, a machine hidden behind a mirror as a source for his power. This clock is another one of Trelane's power objects.
And if we could find and destroy enough of Trelane's power...
The village of Gothos would come apart, and we might find out what happened to the Enterprise.
Mr. Spock, continue scanning for power sources.
Okay.
A common stove, although perhaps a bit antiquated for the period. There are no unusual readings from it, Captain. This object is composed of metal and wood. There is nothing unusual about it.
No money.
The tricorder detects nothing unusual.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for that room?
That old thing. I can give it to you now. You can pay me later. I'm sure my boss, Mr. Uland, won't mind.
Into the pocket.
Hi, can I help you?
I see you're selling food packages.
You look hungry. Sure, have it. Pay me later.
Okay, nice.
Hi, can I help you?
Is that a coil of rope over on the wall?
Is he giving me
That
this
rope?
as well?
No one ever buys rope. Go ahead and take it.
Every Dungeons and Dragons team needs a rope.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful clock.
It sure is.
We
I
need
can let you
those.
have it. Pay me later. Or maybe not. Mr. Uland wouldn't like me to give away something that expensive on a promise.
Okay, that's where we need something.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful... What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have already been paid for.
Okay.
Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for those shoes? That really is a beautiful... What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have already been paid for. Hi, can I help you?
What do you want for... That really is a beautiful... What do you want for those shoes?
I'm sorry, but those shoes have already been paid for.
Okay, that's a lot of shoes, by the way. Then no, that house isn't burning anymore.
I would not get near that dog if I were you, Jim. It's suffering from rabies.
Let's save before we do
Save
anything
new
stupid.
game.
You get no response. No
Okay.
effect.
Okay. No insta kills in this.
Terran dog suffering from hydrophobia.
Can you cure it, Bones?
If I can cure Vulcans, I can cure dogs. I need to find some way of getting close to it.
The food package may have more appropriate uses at a later time. The logical thing to do is to have Dr. McCoy treat the animal.
I'll have to get near it. Spock, does the Vulcan nerve pinch work on a Doberman?
The logical thing to do is to have Dr. McCoy treat the animal.
I'll have to get near it. Spock, does the Vulcan nerve pinch work on a Doberman?
I wonder. We can. Okay, now he's driving it.
The dog is now hungrily eating its meal.
That looks slightly gross. That doesn't look like a ration, it looks like a rabbit or something.
Another satisfied patient.
Okay.
This door leads into the school. This door leads into the armory.
And remember, democracy is weak. It relies on the votes of the foolish masses who are incapable of choosing strong leaders. Constitutional government fosters weakness. The rejection of republicanism is what won the last war for Germany, and it will bring us victory over these stupid Americans.
That's not what they told us at the Academy.
Boys and girls, let me introduce you to an example of inferior Republican stock.
Okay.
Lieutenant Colonel Jimmy Kirk. Tell us, Kirk, how can you defend the ludicrous American system?
I see no reason to defend anything, Captain. These children are, in spite of your efforts to indoctrinate them, quite capable of growing up to become adults who will make up their own minds.
This is pretty good.
I am not interested in a debate, Hauptmann. If your system is so superior to America's, how come you're losing the war? Why don't we put it up to a vote? You have a choice between a system that gives you leaders who will oppress you for life, or a system which, imperfect though it may be, allows you to influence your leaders and gives you a chance to bring them to account.
This was actually tested in the 1950s, and people went pretty easily
I see no reason to defend anything, Captain. These children are, in spite of your efforts to indoctrinate them, quite capable of growing up to become adults.
They will listen to what we tell them, because we know more than you. It is the best interest of society for them to obey us without question.
Whose society is it in the best interest of? Yours or theirs?
Children, tell this American fool that you will obey me without question.
Children, tell us how you really feel. Be honest to yourself as well as to others.
I'm sick of listening to Captain Hauptmann yelling at us.
Yeah!
Captain Hauptmann treats everyone like they're the enemy, even us.
Yeah!
I never want to listen to Captain Hauptmann again as long as I live.
Yeah!
Well, seeing that they want to obey you without question.
I will not tolerate such insults. The Baron will make you all pay.
Save new game. Replace previous game. Delete previous. Save new game.
Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war?
It's horrible. With any luck, my students won't have to fight in such a war once they get older. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war? What can you tell me about Trelane?
Ah, the Baron. Such a charming man. If all the military in Gothos were like him, it would be a better place to live. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about them? What can you... These children are something, aren't they?
They are a little rambunctious, aren't they? Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think of what these... I didn't realize they let mad dogs teach children.
He's a rather enthusiastic officer. Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think... What do you think about the war? I didn't realize they let mad dogs teach children.
He's a rather...
This appears to be a picture of Kaiser Wilhelm II. A chalkboard.
An ordinary oil painting, approximately 30 years old. I detect no unusual readings from it.
So items can be like a power
Captain,
sources for Trelane.
Another abnormally high reading emanating from the chalkboard.
Okay. Okay, now we need to steal this from the school. Oh no.
Herr Kirk, can I help you?
Yes, I'd like to ask a question. What do you think about the war? You know, I've heard that chalkboards can be very dangerous to children. The chalk is very bad for the lungs. Maybe I should remove it.
You want to remove my chalkboard? Nein, absolutely not. I wouldn't consider it unless you gave me a letter from the superintendent telling me to do this.
Aha, okay.
This door leads into the apartment building.
Adventure game logic, let's go to every building.
What is it, Gringold? Ah, visitors.
A domesticated longhair. A one-armed gentleman sitting on a sofa.
Terran cat, feeling very self-satisfied. Human male in good physical condition.
An early 20th century recording device, no longer in working order. A painting, Captain. This tricorder detects nothing unusual about this object.
What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me about the war?
We are a nation of warriors, Colonel. Like your America, we were born in war. We believe that military might gives men the right to take what they want.
What about diplomacy?
I wish we understood it better, Colonel. The pieces of paper that our diplomats sign have too little meaning. If we paid more attention, we could have prevented this latest mad conflict. I lost my grandson at the Marne. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me about the war? I noticed that you have only one.
I lost my arm in the last war, January 8, 1871, during the siege of Paris, during Bismarck's war with France, shortly before Germany's glorious victory. It still didn't bring my arm back. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me? I know. What can you tell me about Trelane?
Ah, yes, the glorious Baron. I'm a lowly soldier, retired and alone, except for Gringold. I don't think I can tell you anything about him. What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell me? I know. Where can I go to earn some money?
I might be able to give you some money, Colonel, if I could think of something useful that you could do for me. What did you do? My rheumatism is much better.
Nothing, Herr Eckhart. I'm just a simple country doctor.
What can I do for you, Colonel?
What can you tell? I know. Where can I go to? There's some trouble at the school. I believe the chalkboard may be dangerous.
Nah.
It should be removed. How could I convince the superintendent that this needs to be done?
I believe that some of the instructors are more dangerous than any chalkboard. But if Herr Schiller were to hear such a report from Herr Sondergaard, the publisher, he might agree to have it removed. Herr Sondergaard is the most respected man in town, next to the Baron.
Sondergaard was the guy we met in the tavern.
Let's see if I have any catnip.
An ordinary house cat, Felis catus, a common human pet. The first records of domesticated cats are from ancient Egypt, where they reduced the rat population in the grain fields, and were also used as hunting animals to retrieve small birds.
Spock, has anyone ever told you that ignorance is bliss?
His name is Glingold, Captain Spock.
I think the cat is very comfortable in its current location, Captain. It's probably a good idea if we keep our...
Yeah, he can't do anything to the cat. Okay, they are now down because the boost was spiced. That was awfully convenient.
Human male unconscious. Human male unconscious.
A rack containing German rifles. You have taken one of their rifles. A safe. It is currently unopened.
I could mind meld with him to get the combination of the safe.
Yeah, exactly what I had in mind.
Trelane. Trelane. Trelane.
Spock, snap out of it.
He's not paying attention to me. Run away.
The combination, Spock. Concentrate on the combination.
Kirk. I must have revenge on Kirk. Every great man has his enemy. Nothing could be more fun than revenge. The sensation to end all sensations.
Spock!
I'm back, Captain. I was able to mind meld with Trelane to an extent through his replications. These men are the crew of the Shinobi, the original freighter that Trelane captured. Their thoughts have been altered by Trelane.
Where is the Enterprise, Spock?
Or the Zimbabwe.
I received the impression that Trelane is holding them prisoner. I also got the combination for the safe. Right 43, left 18, right 29, pull.
The safe is full of dynamite.
Well, of course.
A picture of a Prussian soldier, circa 1871, standing at attention.
have a bad feeling about this.
You'll never get me to talk.
I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of Trelane's childish imagination. You're even less important than he is. Where's Trelane? Where's my crew? I would prefer that you didn't. You're nothing but a figment of... Where's Trelane? Where's my crew?
I will tell you nothing. You presume to threaten me, Colonel?
I want you to sign transfer papers for Sundergaard's son. Send him away from the front.
How typical of the press. Not too willing to sacrifice for the good of the nation. Untie me, and I shall sign papers to take this little coward away from his duty.
Okay, so that's how we are going to get the Sundergaard to sign. Huh.
A mug, half full of drugged beer. Or is it half empty?
That's a good question.
The commander's desk, covered with papers.
Did we get the papers already?
I'll get it.
You have taken the signed transfer papers.
Yes.
A supply case, holding some of the commander's few possessions. Best Huntsman 1912. This trophy belongs to the commander. A table.
Save new game, replace, delete, cancel. Save new game, replace, preview.
Is there anything at the left?
I can't believe the trench would be so close to the town.
It shouldn't be. At this point in the war, the Allies had broken through the trenches. That's why Germany surrendered. Their defenses were crumbling, and they didn't want to see their cities destroyed.
Only one of many illogical situations, Commander. The building where we were imprisoned almost burned to the ground. But no other building was touched, and no one seemed concerned about the fire.
What else?
The fact that everyone seems to recognize us, yet the military does not try to intercept us. The building signs in English instead of German. There is much here that is not what it seems.
A lone soldier groans, but does not move.
Young human male, life signs failing. Suffering from internal bleeding and shock. Now that's an odd reading. It's not biological. Maybe Spock should try using his tricorder.
Captain, another abnormally high reading emanating from an object in his pocket. A locket of some sort.
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell me about the war?
I am a sentry. The others are dead. I think I'm dying.
That's odd. I should be able to see immediate improvement in his injuries. But I have no response.
That is because Trelane is interfering. This man is meant to be a dying soldier, whose presence provides drama for Trelane's production.
He'll die.
Logic suggests that Trelane will not allow him to die, except for dramatic effect. Given the inconsistencies I've noticed, it is probable that he may be kept alive indefinitely.
Can you give him something for the pain, Doctor?
Nothing I've done has any effect on him, Commander.
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell me about the war? What can you tell me about...
I like to watch the airplanes fly overhead. The enemy watches them too. and I know we'll have a few minutes of peace. Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell? About your locket.
You want my locket? But that's the only reminder of my girl. I'd rather lose my arm.
We need it very badly. If we do something for you, would you give it to us?
I have a letter to my girl. If you see that it is delivered, I'll give you my locket.
Okay, then teleport to the town. No, who could be the girl? We are going to the tavern to speak with the Thunder Guard.
How wonderful! Herr Sundergaard's son is being transferred from the front. I would suggest you show him these papers at once.
Wrong paper.
Thank you, Captain. I will see that it is delivered.
Rudolph Uland, owner of Uland's...
Just checking. We are going to give the paper to the right guy.
How wonderful. Herr Sundergaard's son is being transferred from the front. I would suggest you show him those papers at once.
Okay, Sundergaard was one in the back, I suppose.
And what is the Bluffmeister up to this time?
He doesn't bluff. He just complains about everything. I do not. If I did, I would have hit the ceiling with my last hand.
You dealt. You deal with it.
There's no hand worse than the one you deal yourself. Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel. I cannot express my gratitude. If there is anything I can do for you, please let me know. Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me about Can you help me get into this? I need you to spread a rumor about a chalkboard. What can you tell me? I need you to...
You say you need me to convince Herr Schiller to give you the kindergarten blackboard. I would do anything for the man who got the commander to issue a transfer for my son.
Okay, that's excellent. I wonder how...
I told you I didn't know your good luck was only temporary. I'd be quite annoyed.
I have so few vices in my life. I must do the best I can with what I have.
Okay.
Whose deal is it?
Okay, so does he have money now?
Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell? Can you help me get into this poker game? What can you tell me about Can you help me get into this poker game?
I would lend you a stake to enter this game, but it appears that I will have to win a few hands to give you that money.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always glad to help you.
You look worried. It wouldn't happen to be about the chalkboard by any chance.
I have heard the most horrifying rumors about these boards. Do you think they are true?
Absolutely. If you wish, I could dispose of the thing for you before anyone is harmed. I'd need a letter for Frau Hubbarding.
Absolutely. Let me just take pen to paper. Take it when you want to destroy the vile thing.
Okay, that works.
You pick up the piece of paper.
Herr Kirk, though my position as school superintendent keeps me busy, I'm always...
Thank you, Herr Schiller. I don't think I require your generosity, but the offer is appreciated.
Anytime, Colonel. I thought I had more beer than this.
Let's go and get object of power, basically.
Nothing to report in the West.
What can you tell me? What can you tell me about that locket?
You've delivered my letter? I guess I'll keep my promise. Have my locket.
He's going to die. Probably. Okay, so what can we do with the locket?
This locket opens to reveal the picture of a young woman and an inscription. From HB to FK, a love that cannot be killed.
What is in at the right? Far right here. I think we have been... okay, that's
there it is. The triplane that shot down the Enterprise.
Why don't you start it up and fly off in a blaze of glory? After all, you are James T. Kirk, the toast of Starfleet. The man who never loses.
Mr. Ellis.
What's the matter, Kirk? The truth hurts? You never let that get in the way of your ego before.
I'm putting you on report for insubordination. We're all upset, Mr. Ellis, but these insults... That's it, I've taken all... I'm putting you on report. We're all upset, Mr. Ellis, but these insults won't solve a thing.
I don't believe in mincing my words, Captain. If you can't accept my honest opinion, too bad.
Fine, but do yourself a favor and stay out of my way. That's it, I've taken all... Fine, but do yourself a favor and stay out of...
Kirk, I'm going to be in your face so much that you're never going to forget what I look like.
Commander, I know a treatment that has a good success rate at reducing excess aggressiveness. It's called reason.
Reason. Okay. But... he's a bit sus right now.
A Fokker DR-1.
It's an object of power, probably.
Another abnormally high reading emanating from the plane. It is in every way a Fokker DR-1, except for that power source.
Maybe we need to combine things here.
Well, if the superintendent says you must take it, you must.
Into the pocket. Game isn't taking it too seriously.
The locket's power readings are beyond the ability of the tricorder to measure. Captain, the chalkboard's power readings are beyond the ability of the tricorder to measure.
Several fuel barrels have been placed at the side of the hangar. A Fokker DR-1.
Okay, so we can check the hangar.
Castle Trelane. What else could it be?
I'm picking up immense power readings from that castle in the distance. There is a high probability that it's Trelane's base.
Well, of course it's Trelane's base. Where do you expect Trelane to live? A slum?
Doctor, your display of emotion is quite unnecessary.
So what, now we need the clock. And it's going to cost us. I could have money, but...
Welcome, friends. Can I help you?
What can you tell me? Can you help me? What can you tell me? Can you help me get?
I would lend you a stake to enter this game, but it appears that I will have to win a few hands to give you that money.
Save new game. Save new cancel. Delete previous. Save new game. Replace delete previous. Save new game. Replace delete previous. Save new game. Replace delete. Save new. Replace delete previous game. Save new game.
Okay, so he needs to win something so he can pay us or get us to win the game.
The tricorder detects nothing unusual. The tricorder detects nothing unusual. Poker. How unusual to find this activity in Germany during this period. Fascinating.
Fascinating? Just because your ears grow when you bluff? Ah, poker. I remember this time in medical school where I got into this game.
Doctor, I see no relevance of your story to this situation.
Spock, did anyone ever tell you that you can be damn rude?
Nah. Okay. I wonder what we have left done. Left unfinished. Let's check the inventory. We have gun, we have broom, we haven't used the broom. Gun we did use once. The dynamite. We already used this. There's two guys who could give me money. Have said so.
Hello, Glingold.
A copy of Goethe's Faust in German.
I believe that brooms were meant to be used on floors, Captain.
Thank you, Colonel. You Americans are very helpful. It's a pity we're at war with you. But wars always end. And today's enemy often becomes tomorrow's friend. Unfortunately, the reverse is often true. Here, it's not much, but money has its uses.
Thank you. Perhaps you might be able to use a broom around here.
Why, thank you, Colonel.
Cat healthy.
Terran cat, feeling very self-satisfied.
Okay, now we have some money, so maybe we could put one in poker. This is so cliche, so much a cliche. Like several Star Trek episodes. had this cliche that Starfield officers are and Vulcans are much better to play cards than what other people are.
Welcome to the game, Colonel.
Okay, that helps.
3 hours later.
My God! Where did you learn to play poker, Colonel?
Starfleet Academy.
Okay.
We have enough money to purchase the clock, Captain. I suggest we do so without delay.
That was surprisingly easy.
That's just enough to buy this neat clock.
Just enough. Okay, that's the third item. Rule of 3. So, I suppose we can now destroy it.
Affirmative, Captain.
Everyone stay well back.
We did not destroy enough of Trelane's power objects, Captain. He was able to use their energy to shield the triplane from the force of the explosion. We need to destroy all the power objects in Gothos at the same time.
No effect.
Fascinating. The object briefly disintegrated but was reconstituted by other power sources around the village of Gothos.
Speculation, Mr. Spock.
It will be necessary to destroy all of Trelane's power sources in Gothos at the same time if we hope to dampen his power.
So how about we put everything here and blow them up?
You put the locket in the triplane.
Blow them up at the same time. Yep, this works.
You put the chalkboard in the triplane. You put the clock in the triplane.
Affirmative, Captain.
Everyone stay well back.
Boom.
I suppose I should be angry at you, Captain, with your act of vandalism against my beautiful aircraft. But then, barbarians will be barbarians.
There's only one barbarian in the room, Trelane, and I'm looking at him right now. Release my ship, Trelane. And don't you ever grow up?
And why would I want to be anything so inferior, Captain?
Inferior? You have vast powers, but no feeling, no soul, Trelane. You cannot create. You can only imitate, and very poorly at that.
Trelane, the Baron of Gothos, smirks triumphantly as the little drama unfolds. If the real thing weren't bad enough, a portrait of the humble Baron of Gothos smirks nauseatingly at you. This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the SS Shinobi, a freighter. This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the SS Manikier, a Denebian transport. This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the USS Zimbabwe.
My ship! Bring it back or I'll...
Okay.
This one's even more savage than the last one of your officers who made the same mistake. My compliments, Captain, on having such a spirited crew. Truly a testament to your fine leadership.
Release him, Trelane. He's done you no harm. Take me in his place.
Ah, the gallant Captain, intervening on behalf of one who despises him. Don't worry about him, Captain. Worry about yourself.
I suppose I should thank you, Captain.
Later, Commander.
This bottle contains a very realistic reduction of the USS Enterprise.
Jim, is that what I think it is?
It is the Enterprise, Doctor. It is functioning normally, aside from being trapped. The crew are alive and well.
My latest hobby, gentlemen, putting warships in bottles, celebrating the grand martial heritage of your species.
Captain, thank goodness you're all right. We've been stuck in a place on minimal life support, and every time we fix our communication systems, it goes offline again. Shall we try to beam you back?
That might be problematic, Mr. Scott.
Be careful, Captain. We've scanned 2 life forms that are right off the power scale.
2 life forms, Scotty. Scotty, come in.
How like an engineer your Mr. Scott is. Always fixated on the unimportant. Well, Captain, I suppose you're about to make your grand plan of escape.
You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War. Why should I have to make a grand plan to escape from a loser like you? I don't have to do anything. Eventually, your parents are going to find you and discipline you again. Why? You must think you're pretty clever, Trelane, with your replica of the First World War.
Why, thank you, Captain.
I wasn't complimenting you, Trelane. I've never seen such a piece of nonsense in my life. Although you could have made that trench scene much more realistic.
Yeah.
Really, Captain?
Look into the memory banks of the Enterprise, Trelane. Recreate what's in there, and let me show you firsthand the glory of one of the bloodiest conflicts in human history. Not a liar, just
we are
misinformed.
goading him.
Use the memory banks of the Enterprise, Trelane. Recreate what's in there. War at its most realistic and terrifying.
Yep. Not a glorious thing.
Captain Kirk, I hope you had a good reason for dragging me out in the mud in the middle of the rain.
Look around you, Trelane. Is this glory? Is this valor? Smell the stench of death. While knights fought in the sky, millions died in the mud. Diseased, starving, mutilated. Is this the sort of game you want to play, Trelane?
But these people lost, Kirk. Shame and suffering is supposed to befall the losers in war.
These were the winners, Trelane. You're inhuman, Trelane. You play games with people and ignore their suffering, just like the people who sent these men to die. You should have been a politician. If you have any real courage, Trelane, if you want to experience real warfare, put yourself in their place. No powers, no titles. Experience the glory of war firsthand, like these men did. These were the winners, Trelane. If you have any real courage, Trelane, if you want to experience real warfare, put yourself in their place. No powers, no titles. Experience the glory of war firsthand, like these men did.
But aren't you inferiors supposed to die like that? Aren't you supposed to throw your lives away in futile wars? Or die as meaningless non-entities? Dying a useless death without glory?
No one is useless, Trelane. And no one wants to throw away their life in a futile war. We've changed, Trelane. We've grown up. It's time you did too.
You're no fun anymore, Kirk. No fun at all. You're preachy just like them. Anything I'm interested in is always wrong.
Release my ship. Trelane, look around you. Does this look right to you? Trelane, you don't go around hurting people and expect them to treat it as though they're having fun. The first thing a life form learns is to avoid pain. Release my ship. Trelane, look around you. Does this look right to you?
But I didn't cause this, Kirk. It was your own species' suicidal tendencies that did this.
Trelane, if I admit that I cheated on our last encounter, can I have my ship back? Trelane, you're not experiencing the pain that people felt. You're supposed to sympathize with them. I'll tell you what, Trelane. You can keep the Enterprise. All I want is your triplane.
Okay. What?
You want my plane? You can't have that. It's mine.
But it's a lot nicer than the Enterprise. What would you rather have, a nice red triplane or a clunky-looking starship? Which one is better, Trelane?
Why, my triplane, of course.
And why don't you make lots of triplanes and let those dusty, dirty old starships go free? Just think of all the fun you can have putting them in bottles.
Why, Captain, you've given me a hobby. I can hardly wait to start.
You better set those starships free, Trelane. You're going to need a lot of room on your mantelpiece for your new ships.
That is true, Captain.
Captain's log.
Right.
Missing starships have been restored to normal size and are about to return to their assigned missions. It was horrible, Mr. Spock. Trelane recreated one of the greatest tragedies in human history. I've seen a lot, but even that...
The waste of lives is appalling, even when one operates by pure logic. When one considers what those millions of lives that were lost might have done for humanity had the war never taken place.
Well, now that we've taken care of business... Ow! I'll have to see Dr. McCoy about my shoulder.
Something happened, Captain?
Mr. Ellis and I.
I see. Are your differences settled?
I'm afraid not, Mr. Spock. We each won a game of zero-G squash, but I'm afraid he was called back to the Zimbabwe before we could have a rubber match. I think I dislocated my shoulder with a rather wild swing in the second game.
Then logic suggests that your injury would have caused you to lose the match.
I suppose so. He's a good player and a good officer. I'm putting in a request to bring him on the Enterprise.
That should be fascinating.
Hello, Captain. I'm Captain Gernsbeck of the Shinobi.
Ah.
I thought I would thank you personally before we left for Cephas 5.
Okay. A pleasure to meet you, Captain.
Have we met before, Captain? There's something familiar.
Perhaps we did, on some other planet, in some other star system, sometime long ago.
Message from Starfleet Command.
On screen.
I have reviewed your report from your recent assignment, Captain, and have a few comments. I am very pleased with your performance. It was a perfect mission, Jim. Your reputation as Starfleet's best starship captain is secure. Kane out.
Captain's log. While exploring an uncharted star system in the Deneb sector, we received what we think is a message from a distress beacon on Onias 2. We're en route to investigate.
Okay.
Save new game.
Okay, maybe that's enough of point-and-click games. Yeah, don't have an issue of them, but I think I played a bit too many point-and-click games when I was much younger. They were in a huge, well, not in a huge success, but very quite popular back in the 90s and 80s. So today's games, we are going to continue Trans-Siberian Railway Simulator. I'm going to drive it a bit more, and in evening games we are going to play Viet Cong, which is very good representation of the Vietnam War from 2003. So it's very old game. We are going to play like HD remaster modification. So that's the idea, at least. So now we are going to take a bit break and return to the